आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Duggirala Gopalakrishnayya, who was born on the 2nd of June 1889 in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, known by his title of Andhra Ratna. Gopalakrishnayya was a poet, songwriter, philosopher, singer, and an extraordinary revolutionary with a philosophy of non-violence.
Gopalakrishnayya studied economics at the University of Edinburgh. With the financial help of his friend Nadimpalli Narasimha Rao, he returned to India in 1917 and started working at the National College at Machilipatnam, Andhra Pradesh. He was inspired to join Annie Besant's Home Rule movement, and in 1919 he gave up his teaching career to become a full-time political activist.
After attending the Calcutta Congress session in 1920, he was attracted to the principles of non-cooperation and Satyagraha and resolved to dedicate his life to the achievement of Swaraj. Gopalakrishnayya organized a cadre of workers called Rama Dandu, or Rama's army, to work for the cause of Swaraj. In 1921, Rama Dandu played a prominent role in organizing the Congress session held at Vijayawada.
Gopalakrishnayya is well known for leading the anti-tax Satyagraha in Chirala during the non-cooperation movement. In January 1921, when the residents of Chirala decided not to pay the taxes, the British clamped down by arresting, prosecuting, and sentencing several of the protesters to imprisonment. On advice of Mahatma Gandhi, Gopalakrishnayya led the residents of Chirala town to move out of the town and set up temporary settlements beyond town limits.
Nearly 13,000 out of the town's total population of 15,000 responded to his call and shifted to a new settlement called Ramanagar, where he set up an assembly comprising members from all castes and a court of arbitration. Gopalakrishnayya was arrested and imprisoned for his heroic leadership. After the withdrawal of the non-cooperation movement, when C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru founded the Swarajya Party in 1925, Gopalakrishnayya joined it.
Gopalakrishnayya was fluent in Sanskrit, Telugu, Hindi, and English, and an extempore composer of verse. He was a powerful orator and set up the Andhra Vidya Peetha Gosthi. During his years in England, Gopalakrishnayya translated the Abhinayadarpana of Nandikesvara into English as the Mirror of Gesture.
Gopalakrishnayya died on the 10th of June 1928 at a young age of 39. We salute the great freedom fighter.
We also remember martyr Bhikkhu, who took part in the First War of Independence in 1857. Initially a soldier in the East India Company army, he joined the uprising. He also inspired his fellow sepoys to disobey their British officials and take part in the independence movement against the foreign rule.
Bhikkhu was captured in the course of an encounter with the British and charged with desertion and mutiny against the British authorities. He was sentenced to the transportation for life with hard labour and irons on the 16th of June 1857. He died in detention in the Andaman Islands on the 2nd of June 1858. We salute the great son of the soil.
We also remember independence activist Sidhu. A resident of Balwari, Haryana, Sidhu initially served in British Indian Army but deserted it and took active part in the First War of Independence in 1857. He was apprehended by British officer and accused of desertion and rebellion against the British rule. Sidhu was sentenced to death and executed by hanging on the 2nd of June 1858. We salute the great martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.